Sir Nicholas Soames.
Thank you, Mr. President, and a great pleasure to serve under you on this committee, and I congratulate the honourable gentleman on securing this very timely and very important debate. And I only wish to make a brief intervention, Mr. Paisley. And I speak today, I should say, as a long-standing member of the Conservative Middle East Council and now as its president. I have travelled extensively in the Middle East for many, many years. And at the beginning, I want to make it clear that I believe absolutely in Israel, and I believe without qualification in the statehood of Palestine. I want to see a secure Israel alongside a viable and independent Palestine. But I want today, Mr. Paisley, to express my deep concern about the truly appalling humanitarian conditions in the West Bank, and most particularly in Gaza. In the 35 years that I've been a Member of Parliament, I've taken a very close interest in the Middle East with all its endless shifting alliances, problems and disasters. And it has always seemed to me to be quite unbelievable that a nation like Israel, cultured, sophisticated and democratic, who has triumphed over so much and whose people have down the centuries suffered so dreadfully, should even consider tolerating the grotesque situation that pertains in Gaza and the serious harm, desperate squalor and cruelty that they live with. It is immoral and it is contrary to all humanitarian norms. Israel acts with seeming impunity, imposing what is effectively a collective punishment on Gaza. Israeli actions against the Palestinians are legally and morally wrong and must be condemned and, more importantly, must be put right. It is not enough, Mr. Paisley, just to express concern and to go on expressing concern. And I say to my right honourable friend, the Minister, who is my friend and who has a deep and profound understanding of the Middle East, that I look to him for something stronger. A democratic, sophisticated Israel should know much, much better than to do what it is doing at the moment. Not only in its recent violent behaviour towards the Palestinians, very well expressed by the honourable gentleman, but also as it continues to expropriate absolutely illegally and against all advice from all its friends and its opponents to illegally expropriate land for settlements. Hear, hear. This year is what Palestinians refer to as the 70th anniversary of Nakba, the terrible catastrophe that befell them, during which most of Palestine's Arab population fled or were driven from their homes during Israel's creation in 1948. Since 2007, Mr. Paisley, an illegal Israeli imposed blockade, together with 3 major wars, have wreaked havoc on Gaza's economy, its infrastructure, and above all, its people. Unemployment in Gaza stands at 43%. 39% of Gaza's 2 million Palestinians live in abject poverty, with 80% dependent on international food aid for their very survival. If that is not enough, 97% of Gaza's entire water supply is contaminated by sewage and seawater. And according to the United Nations, on top of all this, hopelessly inadequate health services. Essentially, Mr. Paisley, the Gaza Strip has been made uninhabitable and unlivable. It must be said, sir, that it is clear that the ongoing split between Fatah and Hamas has paralysed Palestinian politics and made it much harder to make any progress, and it has rendered very difficult reconstruction efforts in Gaza. But, Mr. Paisley, this House should express today our unqualified and unreserved anger and our shock that Gaza should be kept as it is, with a devastated economy and desperate humanitarian needs. I know many Israelis, I won't, if the Honourable Lady will forgive me, I'm just coming to the end, there are many people who want to speak, please forgive me. I know many Israelis, many Jews in this country, who are deeply, abidingly, desperately ashamed of their country's behaviour, their wonderful, extraordinary country's behaviour in this respect, and we should not in this House let this moment pass without most strongly condemning such dreadful and barbaric behaviour.